Hey guys, what's up? So my name is Ayush Sanghi and I'm a verified educator on Unacademy. I've come up with a new course on high demand from my followers, from my students, which is specifically focused upon contemporary issues. Contemporary issues for the UPSC Civil Services Examination 2018 as well as 2019. So it's a highly beneficial course and it's a hugely different course from whichever courses you have ever seen online or even offline in the centers which train for the civil services examination. So how is the course different? Let's have a look at it. So the name of the course is Contemporary Issues for the Examination, and it is done through the eyes of analysis, the detailed analysis, plus how to apply these issues in the general studies part of the paper, whether prelims or mains, prelims come mains, both the parts are being done. And this is important for each and every aspirant who's eyeing this examination either this year or next year, right? So the course is presented by me, Ayush Sanghi. So, some facts about me: I'm a top educator and have been so consistently for the last 2 years, and I have over 1,70,000 followers and counting. So, the students who know me, they know about me where I teach, and I've been teaching in the best of the institutes of the country, top best civil services institutes of the country. It's been approximately 5 years since I've been doing so. These are some testimonials on my Plus courses. From my earlier Plus courses, the students have showered their love and they have appreciated the hard work and they've appreciated what we stand for. So, the way we deliver lectures and the way I conduct classes have been highly appreciable by students who have given such testimonials. So, my new course has been named Contemporary Issues for Civil Services Examination, explicitly for Mains 2018 and more importantly for Pre-Com Mains 2019. So, this is for civil services aspirants who are appearing for 2018 as well as 2019. The course is presented by me, Ayush Sanghi. This starts in the month of July this year, 2018. So let me explain about this course, what exactly this course is. You have to understand about this course, and that is more important than anything else. So the course is a mixture of the following components. The first thing being the detailed analytical discussion of contemporary issues. Now, what exactly are contemporary issues? This I will explain in detail with the help of an example. How to apply these issues for general studies papers 1, 2, 3 in mains as well as general studies prelims. How to use this knowledge for prelims as well. This is mains and pre has all the subjects as you already know. And the third part is answer writing on these issues with a proper approach and word limit. Very, very important. So each of the component has to go hand in hand. Otherwise, even if one component is missed, you might not be able to clear the examination. So that's a roadblock. That roadblock has to be crossed, which is why we do all things together. So we take the detailed analytical discussion, we couple it with its application, where to use that knowledge. This is very, very important. So the biggest disadvantage is that we know we have a lot of knowledge, we are intellectually very strong, but where to use that knowledge is something that we do not really understand. Then the answer writing, how to make sure that we are able to apply that knowledge in the limited word, 150 words, 200 words, 250 words. How do we apply that knowledge in this answer writing is very important. All three components, if they are dealt with together, hand in hand, only then we will be able to do justice with respect to the course. So these are the most important facts about this course. So application of the knowledge of the subject and emphasis on effective answer writing is what differentiates this course from the other courses. So the differentiating factor is its application and the effective answer writing that we would be doing through the Q&A sessions, the very popular Q&A sessions, which I've been doing in my other courses as well, but this course would be a bit more special. So why? The question is why this course? I mean, how this course would be useful for all of you. Let's understand. So let's look at the normal scenario. आइए देखते हैं आम जिंदगी. आम जिंदगी क्या है? Scenario one, and this is something which I have been observing students doing. I mean, at some point of time, I was myself in this soup. We see students working extremely hard on understanding the issues, understanding the current nature, the current affairs, the current issues through multiple magazines, multiple websites, multiple PDFs, but they're not able to do so justice to the same. Why? What is the reason behind that? You're not able to do justice. We keep on reading, we read detailed analysis on multiple newspapers, multiple websites, multiple blogs. Why are we not able to do justice? Because the preparation is not focused. We do not know what not to read. The biggest problem is we do not know what not to read. And the second scenario is that we also see the opposite cases where people have oriented themselves in a manner where they religiously attempt writing answers on current affairs but are not able to write exam in specific answers, or they're not able to write specific answers as to what exactly is the demand of the question. So people have understood the issue but they are not able to satisfy the demand. This is also a very big disadvantage. I mean, the question is asking something but we are writing what we know. So there is a gap between the same. इसके बीच में गैप है. आपसे क्या पूछा जा रहा है और आप जो लिखते हो आप वो लिखते हो जो आपको आता है. There's a huge gap, and this is where we lose out on marks. This is what we have to bridge. So these are the two specific scenarios, and looking at these two specific scenarios, we've come up with this unique course on comprehensive understanding of contemporary issues. So analysis and presentation of contemporary issues are the most important and drilled areas where there is ample amount of misguidance. And I mean, I don't want to quote, but there is ample amount of misguidance. Students don't exactly know how to apply, where to apply, what to refer to, what to ignore. So developing these areas is paramount for each and every aspirant, which is why, looking at this need, we have come up with this course for the students to be able to develop this skill, this very, very important skill. So for whom is this course? This course is basically for aspirants, as we earlier discussed, who will be appearing for mains 2018, and in particular who would be appearing for 2019. It would be highly beneficial for freshers who would be appearing for 2019, either pre or mains. So what would be the approach of this particular course? This is a very, very important segment where I would explain what you would be getting in this course. So here we would discuss as to what exactly is the difference between current affairs and contemporary issues. Current affairs and contemporary issues are two specific things that I would like to discuss with you in order to differentiate. So let's take the same topic with respect to current affairs and contemporary issues. This is something that you always seem to know of. आपको हमेशा जो सुनाई देता है वो क्या देता है? Current affairs. We constantly hear of that current affairs are being done. We have to read current affairs, newspapers, etc. And what are contemporary issues? This is something which needs to be understood, and our course is all about this component. So current affairs, let's take an example of one single topic in both the cases. Project on interlinking of river water. I'll explain what it is. And the same, project on interlinking of river water. So if you have to read the same topic as a part of current affairs, how would you read it? अगर आपको यही चीज पढ़नी है current affairs के point of view से, तो आप क्या पढ़ोगे इसमें? Current affairs में क्या पढ़ोगे इसमें? बताइए. You will read the definition of interlinking of rivers. You would read what exactly interlinking is. So interlinking basically means that you are linking one river to the other. You are linking the river water of one river to the other, of a river which is water surplus to the river which is water deficit. So interlinking can be defined as transfer of water from water surplus region to water deficit region is defined as interlinking. Right? This definition would be important from the point of view of current affairs. Followed by that is peninsular rivers, the rivers which are in the peninsular region of India. So these are those which are dependent on rainwater because they don't have any source, they don't have any glaciatic source per se. Like for example, the Mahanadi River, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, all are in line. They are east flowing rivers into the Bay of Bengal, Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, and they are dependent upon rainwater, peninsular rivers. On the other hand, there are Himalayan rivers, which are those which are glaciatic in nature. Glaciated in nature, glaciatic in nature. So we all know examples, Ganga, Indus, Brahmaputra. So these are the examples of these rivers. These are non-perennial rivers, peninsular rivers, and perennial rivers are Himalayan rivers which are dependent upon or which have a certain source which flow for the entire year. Perennial means which flow for the entire year. So this is the current affair that you would normally read with respect to this topic. तो ये topic newspaper में दिखा और आपको ये चीजें समझ में आ गई, आपने ये चीजें पढ़ ली. This is what current affairs is, which we are normally exposed to. So how can questions come in PT from this particular aspect? Prelims से questions कैसे आते हैं? Prelims would be asking question as to how would you define interlinking of rivers, give examples of peninsular rivers, or identify which of the following are peninsular or glaciatic or Himalayan rivers, perennial rivers, non-perennial rivers. These are the prelim specific questions. On the other hand, if we have to read the same issue as a part of contemporary issue, how do we do justice to it? Let's understand the detailed analysis. So how to read the issue and how to do the analysis of that issue is something that we would be discussing as a part of this lesson. So interlinking of river water project. So interlinking of river water project was something that was proposed way back in 70s, revived in 2003, and since then we have been talking about it each year, but there is no concrete action yet taken for this river water project. So what exactly is the concept? The concept is that we have to link, as I discussed the meaning of interlinking, the rivers which flow for the entire year, which are the Himalayan rivers, with the peninsular rivers. So North Indian rivers such as Ganga and Indus are perennial in nature. They are primarily fed from glacier sources and rainwaters. यहाँ से उनको source करा जाता है. Peninsular rivers are primarily dependent upon rains because their source is primarily rainwater and they are rain fed, so heavily dependent on southwest monsoon. ये southwest monsoon पे dependent है. So these are the two types of rivers, North Indian rivers, or we can say Himalayan rivers, peninsular rivers, or South Indian rivers. These two rivers are there and we are trying to link basically North Indian rivers with peninsular rivers. Let me explain to you. So the perennial rivers are blessed with excess of water or they are water surplus, whereas in times of lack of rainfall, non-perennial rivers or peninsular rivers face severe shortage of water because they are dependent upon rainfall, and because of the climate change that we have been observing, because of the El Nino years that we have been observing, we do not receive much rainfall in the South Indian rivers or the peninsular rivers, which is why they face severe water shortage. So excess water from the former, which is the Himalayan rivers, is transported to the latter, which are the peninsular rivers. This can be addressed through the concept of interlinking. Interlinking के through इस problem को solve किया जा सकता है. So interlinking of rivers provide for proper and effective distribution of river water because both the areas or both the regions would have ample amount of water. How would it happen? कैसे interlink कर दोगे? इतनी बड़ी नदी को कैसे link कर दोगे? How would you link that one river to the other? So the project states that North Indian rivers need to be linked through by building canals or dams or reservoirs. These are the ways through which you would do it. This is primarily the way how this is done. So let's have a look at Himalayan rivers. Around 14 projects have been suggested for linking, which includes all these projects. Kosi Mechi, Kosi Ghagra, Gandak Ganga. So if you have studied geography, you would know that Ganga river originating from Gomukh. It is going through all these states, UP, Bihar, West Bengal, and entering Bangladesh and finally falling into the Bay of Bengal. So whatever are the tributaries, these are the tributaries, right-hand tributaries and the left-hand tributaries, Son, Ken, Betwa, Chamba, and here Ghagra, Gomti, Gandak, Kosi, all these rivers. So we are basically working on the projects to link these rivers with one another through canals, through dams, and take them to the water deficient regions. Like for example, this needs to be linked to the Rajasthan and the Gujarat region. Gujarat region is facing a water shortage, hence it would get water from these water surplus regions. And this would happen for all the regions which are facing a water shortage. So Chunar, Sona Barrage, Son Dam, Manas, Jogi Popa, all these other projects which are taken into account with respect to Himalayan rivers. On the other hand, peninsular rivers, we have the South Indian rivers. We are looking at Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri, all these rivers are the east flowing rivers. Then we have Narmada, Tapi, we have all these rivers, right? So 16 projects have been suggested for linking, which includes all these projects. So Kaveri, Vaigai, Ken, Betwa, Parvati, Par, Daman Ganga, Beti, Netravati, all these rivers, they would be linked through canals, or there would be reservoirs storing water to some extent, which would be transferred to some other river in order for its use somewhere else. So these are the peninsular rivers that we have taken into account. So we have Himalayan rivers and peninsular rivers which have to be linked through these projects. So approximately 30 projects over 50-60 rivers which has been chosen in order to make sure that we are joining it with canals, we are joining it through reservoirs, or we are doing it through dams in order to store water and to transport water from the water surplus region to the water deficit region. So what are the pros of doing this? Kya positives honge? That obviously if you're storing water and if you're transporting water, it will result into hydropower, generation of approximately 34 gigawatt of energy. And it will provide additional irrigation of approximately 35 million hectares, specifically in the water deficit regions. Very positive. As it is, we specifically see that our farmer suicide rates are so high. So this would be effective in terms of reducing the water deficit in those regions by providing more irrigation. Then it would also drive economic activities like the fishery sector. Pani hogi to machli hogi. So fishing as an activity, as a commercial activity would rise, and the movement of goods would be faster and effective through, like for example, inland waterway one from Allahabad to Haldia. It would be more effective if the navigation increases, if we have enough water, and not only there, but it would also increase from the places where the canals are made. So this is something that would result into effective movement of goods. And last but not the least, the groundwater recharge process would become faster. It would pace up. So these are the benefits by interlinking of river water. On the other hand, there are disadvantages. None of the projects go without their disadvantages. There are certain cons, like creation of canals and reservoirs would result in mass deforestation. Very, very important. Kahan pe banaoge? I mean, you would cut forest, mass deforestation. And what would this lead to? This would change the rainfall pattern, which would result into more climate change. This project envisages building of dams with a height of up to 120 meters, yes, which is very good, but it would entail a huge environmental and social cost. Youth societies would be lost, people who are practicing agriculture, dam would stop the water, and this would result into problem. This resulted into problems 6-7 years back when Omkareshwar Dam was being built. So Omkareshwar Dam in MP was being built, although it was not for this reason, for interlinking of river water, but dams, whenever they are built or whenever they are taken away, it results into problems for the farmers who are agriculturally oriented. Geographically speaking, rivers change their course every 100 years, what has been seen earlier. So if we are interlinking rivers and after 100 years, if the water course changes, then what would happen? It would not be feasible for a longer run. This is also a problem. There will also be a decrease in the amount of fresh water in the marine region. So this is also what we have seen. I mean, look at the beauty of the ecologically oriented people who study the marine life. Like, for example, if the water runs away through the eastern coast, through the eastern part of our country, into the Bay of Bengal, through the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. So we see water running away from this region into the Bay of Bengal. This is what we specifically see. It is resulting into an ecological disaster. Why? Because the marine life would be affected in the Bay of Bengal region. And our region thrives through the Bay of Bengal region. The fishing industry or the seafood industry, it thrives on that. So these are the disadvantages of interlinking of river water. This is what happens, and this is what is taken into account. So how is this entire issue important? It is important for GS paper number 1. It is important for the portion geography. I told you it is important for prelims, which was current affairs portion, right? And contemporary issues is important for prelims as well as mains, GS paper number 1. So GS paper number 1 has a topic, changes in critical geographical features. Such kind of topic would be important to write good answers for such a topic in mains, including water bodies and ice caps, and in flora and fauna and the effects of such changes. This is what takes place and this is what happens. So we have current affairs and we have contemporary issues. Current affairs solves partial purpose, but contemporary issues solves entire purpose, and that is precisely what we are supposed to do. That is precisely what we will be doing. So the main question that can be put forward to you on the same topic, जो topic हमने अभी पढ़ा है, उस पे क्या question आ सकता है? Time and again it has been proposed by the government that rivers need to be interlinked, but each time the discussions are shelved. हमेशा discussions बंद हो जाते हैं right from 1970s up till now. Critically analyze. It is asking us to critically analyze in 200 words and 12.5 marks. So what would you write? Critically analyze means suggest the pros, suggest the cons. Basically, because of the cons and due to huge cost and ecological disaster, we are not going ahead with the project. That is what you have to write. You have to be critical of it. That if it is posing so many benefits, why aren't we doing it? Because it is also posing negatives. It is also posing cons. And this is what you have to portray. This is the knowledge that you have to portray in the examination, which is very, very relevant on this basis. So this is the mains level question. This is what is your takeaway from this particular course. ये चीज आप घर लेकर जाओगे, and this is what you will be presenting in the examination. So it would be important for prelims. There are multiple facts that would be important for prelims, and there would be certain things which would be important for mains. The entire issue and its analysis would be important for mains. So here I would like to clearly differentiate between prelims and mains, or prelims and pre-cum mains. Both these things are important, and this is what we'll be achieving of whatever issues have taken place in the last 1 year. So there would be so many issues that have taken place. We would be shortlisting those issues. I would be shortlisting those issues, and I would be seeing as to what all issues are important and would keep on remaining important from the examination point of view. There are similar issues like the Doklam issue. It is an evergreen issue. It can be asked anytime. Impeachment of judges of Supreme Court, credit rating agencies and the issues. Like, for example, there was Moody's credit rating that happened last year. So there was huge issue around it. National Health Protection Scheme in this year's budget. How is this beneficial, and what exact cost does it entail on the government of India, on the public exchequer? 5 lakh rupees per family and 10 crore families. It's a huge cost. Kaveri river water dispute, evergreen dispute. So इस पे question 5 साल पहले भी आया था, इस पे question अगले साल भी आ सकता है. So I will be identifying these issues from all points of view, from GS1, GS2 and GS3. And then we would be reading these issues, analyzing these issues, presenting these issues, and I would be doing a question on these issues just like I have included it over here. So these are the issues which would be covered. So what are the course contents? As we have discussed, the directive words that you are given, all the fancy words that are thrown at you. Critically analyze, critical analysis, elucidate, discuss, comment, evaluate, assessment, examination, amongst others. These are some of the words. I mean, these beautiful words, we have to understand their application. We have to understand what exactly do we write when we are asked to evaluate, or when we are asked to assess, or when we are asked to analyze, or when we are asked to critically analyze. What do we have to write? So mains is a different ball game with respect to this, where directive words forms an important part of the question. क्या लिखना है बताओ, इतने सारे words हैं. So each and every aspect is supposed to be covered by understanding the meaning of the word and its relevant application. This is what we'll be doing. This is what I will be telling you. This is how I will be training you for the examination in particular in future. Then we have to do justice to the word limit. You have a lot of knowledge. We have just discussed the pros also, the cons also. We have discussed Himalayan rivers also, peninsular rivers also, introduction also, concept also. सारी चीजें हमने discuss करी है शुरू से end तक. आप बहुत खुश हो गए. But ultimately you have to do justice to the word limit. Either it's 150 or 200 और 250. इतने ही वर्ड्स पूछे जाते हैं, और इतनी वर्ड लिमिट में आपको मार्क्स के साथ जस्टिफाई करना पड़ेगा. बिकॉज इफ यू आर आस्क्ड एन आंसर ऑफ 150 वर्ड्स एंड यू राइट 200, you will not be able to complete your paper. So 150 words, 10 marks. How do you do justice to it? 200 words, 12.5 marks. How do you do justice to it? 250 words, 15 marks. How do you do justice to it? Ultimately, you have to do justice to that entire thing, and this is why this course is entirely relevant for you. So we have to complete our paper. Our target is to attempt the entire paper, no matter how many questions are we asked, whether we are asked 15 questions or 20 questions or 25 questions, whatever number of questions, we have to complete the paper, and we have to do justice to the word limited as well as the marks. So in totality, multiple mocks will be added as a part of this. So what will be the weightage, the word limit, and the approach? This is something that I would be telling you as a part of this. So the Q&A of after every topic, हर topic के बाद जो Q&A है, it would be framed in a proper dynamic blend, the way they are asked in the examination and a way of attempting them. This I would be telling you in detail, and we would be choosing the topics, and we would be disclosing the topics on this particular reason. So the coverage is of the almost of the entire syllabus that we have, and this is something that we are doing in order to understand as to what precisely and exactly needs to be done with respect to this. So there are so many things which have been taken into account. बहुत सारी चीजें यहाँ पे taken into account है. जितने भी contemporary issues हैं, whatever are the contemporary issues, and all the contemporary issues that have been taken into account. So let's say there are 100 best contemporary issues which have happened in the previous year. All of them would be taken into account, and each and every issue would be oriented in a manner where you have to understand it, you have to apply it as a part of the syllabus. So these are the papers: General Studies Paper 1, Paper 2, Paper 3 and Paper 4. It would be oriented mostly in the first three papers, GS 1, 2, 3 paper. GS 4 paper, I mean, although its application is limited because you have to study it from the GS part, but if there are questions which can be related to Paper 4, that would also be told to you. So some features: understanding, analysis and its application in writing answers, as well as analyzing the entire issue. So when you analyze the entire issue, then you would be able to write the answers. So our Q&A session towards the end of the issue, like I just explained to you, is the make or break situation for every aspirant. So I would be guiding you towards how to identify what all not to write, to the point answers, understanding it, what exactly to understand. So we have an entire issue that we'll be understanding, and then what will we be doing? We will be analyzing as to what not to write and to the point answers. Effective use of words. You will be understanding multi-dimensional approach and interdisciplinary approach. Very, very important. It has been seen that, for example, GS Paper 2 and Paper 3 topics are overlapping. So we have GS Paper 2 governance, GS Paper 3 economic development. So they are overlapping topics. Economic development is a part of governance as well, as because economic development happens only when you make governance policies right. So whatever you are making on the front of governance policy, it is overlapping. So that is an interdisciplinary approach. A question or knowledge of GS Paper 2 can be used in 3 and vice versa. So this will be done effectively, and I will be telling you how to use proper examples which will fetch you very good marks. There are certain features of this course which I would like to tell you. We will be having weekly sessions of updations with respect to the course and doubt solving, so aspirants have a clear hold on the topic, whatever we are reading, whatever issue we are doing, you have a clear hold. So we would be covering so many issues. As I said, I mean, I would be shortlisting up anywhere about 100 issues and of the previous year, and they would be relevant, entirely relevant for all the papers of general studies, mains, particularly GS paper 1, 2, 3, as well as for prelims. And guidance needed to be given on how to deal with complex topics. So if we are reading the Doklam issue, Indo-China relations, it's a complex topic, how to deal with that. Similarly, if we are doing certain topics like impeachment of judges, GS paper number 2, again, governance issue, it has to be dealt in a particular manner. Guidance would also be provided to students how to attempt questions in the examination for scoring high marks. This is very, very important for all of you. It would be a more focused approach, as I just told you, of dealing with main-centric dynamicity in the examination. And after we do all this main-centric dynamicity and coverage of all the issues, Q&A session simultaneously with respect to that, then I would be giving you, this is an added feature of this particular course, specifically for all you students, 8 subjective tests of at least 10 questions, each with model answers. So it would have a proper approach with model answers for your homework, which you can do up till mains 2019, till the time your attempt does not come. Mains 2019. I mean, students who are appearing for 2018, I would also give you test. So 8 subjective tests for 18 as well as 2019 you would be getting, and whatever you would be getting, you can write your answers and you can send them back to me, and I would do a personalized evaluation on it and recommend you on how to improve and where exactly to improve on those answers. So mains answer test evaluation would be done by me of the classroom program, would also be done, as well as this particular program of homework would also be done. You can send mail of your answers and they will be checked and they will be returned. So these are the unique features of this course and something that we generally do not see in the other centers, which is why, I mean, the improvement of students with respect to answer writing is not there. So this course is very different from the other. Distinctive factors is that you get the first of the kind of course where you get the real feel of the examination with respect to analysis of the latest and the most important contemporary issues, the evergreen contemporary issues that we just discussed. So it's a holistic approach of blend of static plus dynamic reason, and this would help you in clarity of the concept, application of the knowledge, and scientific temper building, which is what is required in the examination or exam orientation. Ultimate aim is to clear the examination and to get a good rank in the merit list. So this is what we are trying to cover with respect to this particular course. So hope to see you in the class with respect to whatever has been given and whatever is the differentiating feature. Thank you so much for all your support and love. Bye everyone. Take care.